the offense has looked a lot better. Zeke is coming off back-to-back 100-yard games, and yesterday, Jerry Jones compared Cooper's impact on the team to Cowboy legend Michael Irvin. Let's take a listen.
I think I'm going to go back to Emmitt Smith, Aikman, Michael Irvin. Emmitt had a lot of his runs, and he wasn't touched for the first 3 or 4 yards. It's because Aikman and Irvin had them backed off, and they knew if they didn't stay back, then Aikman and Irvin and Novacek would take them right down the field. Well, Cooper has done that for us. We got to keep them backed off. When we do, then Zeke can basically have the kind of days we want him to have as a running back. So it's a balanced thing. It always has been.
We're now joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes, thank you for
gobble,
joining
gobble.
us. Gobble, gobble. A lot to get to today. I'm going to start with you, Shannon. Do you like that comparison from Jerry?
No. I mean, Jay, stop. So I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. I didn't hear this when Zeke led the league in rushing in 2016 and Dez could not run me. Well, I didn't hear any of this talking. Now, all of a sudden, you win 2 games and you're the 90s Cowboys that won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years?
Yep.
Is that what we are, Skip Bayless? You like your owner talking like this?
I do not.
Exactly. I didn't think you would. Skip, come on. I get it. Zeke is a phenomenal talent. Amari Cooper is talented. But Michael Irvin didn't get traded because he was underachieving. Michael Irvin was the glue. Michael Irvin was the voice, was a de facto voice in a locker room on a team that won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. And I believe had they kept Jimmy, they probably would have won 5 and about 7. But that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
See, it's not good enough for Jerry. Like, oh man, we got to, the Amari trade has worked out as good, if not better than we hoped it would. He got to go in this hyperbole. I mean, he just got to go over the top. 90s Cowboy, Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, Troy Aikman, Hall of Famer, Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer, MVP, all-time leading. Lord, yeah, why? I understand in Texas everything is big, but Jerry, really? Just, you won 2 games against teams that we thought were going to be good, might not be as good as we thought they were in actuality. So that's where you are, Jerry. But to say that this is the 90s, I can't even believe Jerry said that.
I can, but go ahead. Pile on.
Pile on. Well, first of all, I got to say one thing. Skip, now you are a Cowboy fan. Is that true?
Lifelong.
Lifelong Cowboy fan. Now, I saw something, was it last week, where you threw away something. Yeah. So I just had to bring it back.
You brought it back?
I brought you one personally.
Wow.
You cannot, if you're a fan, be a fan.
You know I retrieved it.
Well, here's another one.
I do need this
You
one,
take
'cause the
that
other
one, give it
one's-
to somebody. That's for you. Be a true fan.
The other one got dry cleaned and it still doesn't smell.
Well, there you go. Now be a fan.
Thank
Look at
you.
this. He got, quit
you know
being
what?
wishy-washy.
I might just wear this tomorrow.
All right, there you go.
I might.
You watch, and once you come in here with that L, you going to be upset.
I like
nice
this
of
one.
you.
You got it.
This is
I got you
different. It's a
different.
different
Cool.
color scheme.
Thank you. Well, that's the old school. That's the old
I
throwback.
know. This is when I first started liking them. This
Well,
got
well-
the stars on the shoulder.
Well, that's just for you.
This is like during the Eddie LeBaron years.
Well,
Boy, Eric, we didn't bring
They
any
were terrible.
gifts, so now we feel bad.
When I saw Skip, I'm like, Skip, you
Thank
can't
you.
be throwing the jersey and the
Thank you.
hat away if you're a
Thank you.
Cowboy. You got to
That's
be
very
a real.
nice of you. Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving to
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving to you. So
All right.
you keep that jersey. You know, I have to agree with Shannon, and to a point. I kind of get what Jerry's saying in a way, but you know, you're talking about a different level. Michael Irvin is not just he's a Hall of Famer, like you said, he was the glue of that football team. He's a different kind of player. You've got a guy that's been there, what now, 3 weeks? 3. And you're trying to compare him to Michael Irvin and the 90s Cowboys. And the Cowboys, one thing about that team was that offensive line was like, all of us running backs on other team, like, man, I wish I had a hole like that. Man, I wish I had some holes like that. Everybody, all of them. I think tight end, but I wish I had a hole like that. So, yes, I can see the comparison, but no, he's not a Michael Irvin. And the thing about it, when I look at Emmitt Smith, not Emmitt Smith, I think at Ezekiel Elliott. The thing, I always said that Zeke was the second best running back in the National Football League. I know we disagree on that. But Zeke is a great player.
Wait, if your coach actually gave your guy the ball occasionally?
Yeah, I know we don't run the ball, and I agree with that. But anyway, so with Zeke, the thing about when you play football games, other teams look at the Cowboys and say, look, 21 is not going to beat us. 21 is not going to beat us. Dak didn't have any weapons. You know, y'all were down on Dak. You too. You were down on Dak, but he didn't have the weapons. He didn't have anyone. He has Amari Cooper, which is kind of, it's working out right now, but let's see if it works out long term. That's what it's all about, the long term. And so, for me, I think it's working out right now, but is he a Michael Irvin? Absolutely not.
So, these comments from Jerry, you could just watch him just running away with himself. It's like Jerry at the Thanksgiving Day table. And he says, give me a piece of that pumpkin pie with whipped cream. And he says, it's really good. Give me another piece of that. And give me another piece and another piece. And finally, he's just spilling it. It's all over the table. And he can't help himself because he's so proud of himself. He pulled off the Amari Cooper trade.
Right.
That's on his resume. I'm in the Hall of Fame, and I went out and I got him. I paid for him, but you get what you pay for, and I got what I paid for because I got Michael Irvin. No, you didn't. Maybe he'll turn into a semblance of Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
But to your point, I covered those 90s teams. I wrote books about the 90s teams. Michael Irvin was the driving force of those football teams. He was the rocket fuel. He was the guts and the glue, and he was the leader. And it's hard for a wide receiver to be the leader of a whole football team, but he was that guy. And by the way, all three of those Super Bowl teams ran the ball more than they threw the football.
Yes. That's right.
And those three teams had, to my eye, the single best offensive line I have ever seen in all my years covering the NFL.
Still.
Because you had 5 potential Pro Bowlers across the board, all 5 of them, and usually 3 or 4 would make the Pro Bowl, but all 5 were capable of making the Pro Bowl. And Jerry's right about this. North Turner told me, they simplified it down in ways you would never have done it, where they just literally called Emmett right, Emmett left. They either handed it to him right or left, or they tossed it to him right or left. They had no holes. They didn't have a number called because he was as instinctive a field runner, just see daylight, run to daylight, as you will ever see, because he was 5'9", and he could duck and dart behind those elephant offensive linemen.
And it was a lot of daylight.
A lot of daylight. But before you found the little 5'9" running back who weighed about 205, he was 5 yards. He was on top of you, and he could make you miss in quickness in a confined space, as Norv used to say.
Right.
So that was what was happening. It wasn't all about the threat of Michael Irvin or Jay Novacek. Do you know that there would be 10 men in the box? They would say, we're taking 22 away, and they couldn't take him away. Because in those 3 years, he led in some category every year, either yards rushing or yards per game or touchdowns. All 3 years, he was the dominant running back in football, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so look, do I get the concept? Has Amari Cooper changed life for Dak Prescott? Sure, he has. He has opened up a lot of things, and I'm going to point it out again. October 21st at Washington, it was only about a month ago. Ezekiel Elliott went 15 times for 33 yards. That's pathetic. That's barely 2 yards, more than 2 yards a carry. Why was that happening? Well, you said why. He had no weapons, and they just said, you can't have him. And Washington's pretty good on defense. They're 5th in points allowed. So you don't think they're smart enough to say you can't have him? Well, can they say that today? Can they do it? Can they say you can't have 21? Well, then can you throw it to 19? Sure you can.
A lot of times the run, Edie, and you know this, it's about commitment.
Exactly.
In the 90s, the Cowboys they were committed to running the football come hell or high water.
They would just say it publicly. We're a running football team.
I mean, when you got Big Easy and you got Nate Newton, you got Steph, you got Gogan, you got Tournay.
And you want to know the truth? Troy didn't love it. Troy Aikman didn't love it. I don't think Michael loved it.
Troy was scoring like 15, 20 times a game.
What quarterback would love that?
But he accepted it because they were winning.
That's it.
They were Alabama.
They were.
They were Alabama.
And you said Norv Turner. I asked Norv this. I saw Norv, I think after the Cowboys' last Super Bowl. I said, no, because I saw the offense. I said, that looks like our offense that we ran to Rams. He said, it's the same offense. He said,
he learned it.
He says ISO right, ISO left. It's right. It's toss right. It's toss left. It ain't no number. And we say we go gap right and gap left. He said that's all it is. And so when you've got offensive linemen like that, that changes everything for the running game. And right, I got to say one thing for Dak. It's going to help Dak having Amari Cooper because, as you know well in football, if a defensive player does that, he's beat. Just looking inside, now the guy's by me. And that's going to help him a lot. So, I think you'll see his play really improve as this team goes along.
Good. Well, Jerry he stumbled completely out of bounds, but I still like his team right now.
Yeah, because when you can run, guess what? When you can run the ball, you're throwing against single coverage. You don't have to throw anybody open because guys got one-on-one. They're just open.
Okay.
So come on.
The game.
Well, let's not pull Michael Irvin.
I want you to enjoy this, Skip. I want you, these last 3 weeks is as good as it gets for you. But your day coming.
And be a Cowboy fan all the time.
All
Skip,
the
don't
time.
be throwing that jersey in the trash now.
I get
don't do that
emotional.
again.
I get angry.
Okay, don't do that.
They deserved it. Did you see that Tennessee nightmare?
I got you.
I think I might
Well, you
get-
saw
I
what
think I might
Tennessee
get
did to
me
the
a Drew
Patriots.
Brees jersey.
Really?
Yeah, I think I
Throw it in the trash?
You got
Nope.
that. You got
I think I'm
that.
gonna wear me a Drew Brees jersey.
You kind of got them same colors
next
on right
Thursday.
now.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm getting me a Drew Brees
So you're
jersey.
saying I should just enjoy this while it lasts until next Thursday night? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But we still got the Eagles coming in the week after that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get Milwaukee to him jersey.
Really?
Just get
Here on
through,
out,
let's get through today.
I'm giving me a jersey and a quarterback.
And then go from there.
Eric, thank you. This
Eric,
is beautiful.
You're
You're going to be back
Love it.
later on in the show. I think you can always stay if you keep bringing gifts. All right, things are getting heated between Aaron Rodgers and his brother.